Patience is a virtue. Everything in life takes time. Stay focused, stay consistent, stay on your grind. Wow. Second man up, just like Scottie Pippen. Had to wait my turn, I ain't even tripping. Double up like double cups, I ain't even sipping.
Thank you for everybody joining the live. Thanks everybody for watching. Welcome to Street Dialogue Podcast, where we get dialogue from a street perspective. And we have a special guest today, Tinkshell. Welcome to the live. All right, so we like to just dig into people's background and, get to know you a little bit, how you was raised, your upbringing and stuff like that, so your fans can know. So where are you originally from? Where are you originally from?
I am originally from Killeen. I was born and raised here, in Killeen. Born in Fort Hood, Darnell Hospital.
Killeen, what state that's in?
That's in Texas. That's in
Texas.
Texas.
Okay, I was figuring that. Okay. I figured, okay. Texas, born and raised. Everything is big in Texas, what they say. You feel me? So how was your upbringing growing up in Texas? Like, what was that like growing up in Texas for you?
So I was pretty much raised in the center of it all. And also it's a military town. So it's a lot of cultures, a lot of different, it's not just one thing. So you see a lot of different atmospheres, a lot of different energies, a lot of different, everybody. Because also it's a great retirement place. So it's a lot of everything. I was raised, in a Pentecostal household, fully women. My, the men were in the house, but they worked, type situation. But
Gotcha.
yeah, that was pretty,
How everything was growing up?
Yeah.
Okay, so growing up in Texas for you, you was raised with both parents in the home. So how was life for you growing up? Like, how were you treated growing up? Like, what was your lifestyle like? What did they allow you to do growing up? Because everybody has this perception of Texas. Not everything is all good. So did you grow up in the suburbs, the hood? Like, how was that for you growing up as a young female in Texas?
I pretty much had a good span of it all. I lived downtown. I lived in the West, is what they call it. I lived in the Long Branch area, is what they also say. We moved around a little bit. My father was somewhat kind of in and out of my life in certain aspects. He was there. He was definitely there for certain parts growing up. Got to like, I think 8, and things started getting a little hectic.
Right.
So yeah, and my mom kind of took over being kind of single mom type of situation, and we lived downtown. I lived, where they call it Root Street.
Gotcha.
Right in front of Big Boys and Girls Club. I was the daughter of someone who literally would throw the grandest of parties where the whole neighborhood would come because my mom was cooking and there's music. And even if you called the cops was like, can I get a plate? like so it was a good certain, parts of time. My mother passed away my freshman year of high school of obesity. So then it became my grandmother and my aunts and my cousin, and they helped raise me and things of that nature. So I had their home, that's my home. And, they pretty much were my rock at the time. So, but yeah,
That's
I found out later on that my father is now, we have spoken now. He's in a nursing home and everything in that nature, but we've, had our, talk and everything like that and gotten everything pretty much settled to where I'm going to be seeing him soon. So,
so your mother basically raised you your whole life, and it looks like, you deal with what all, you know, a lot of people go through this when their father is not present. My father wasn't present. You know what I'm saying? And we deal with this a lot in the black homes, you know what I'm saying? And that do affect the kids in a way. How did that affect you without having your father there, and now you're rekindling your relationship? Like, how is that going to go? Like, how did that affect you growing up as a woman?
so like I said, I grew up in a strong woman-based household. Um, so in the beginning, I was, heartfelt, kind of, where's my dad? When is he gonna come back? You get, every child gets that, question that they have, why, things of that nature. And how my father left and the situation and how that happened, I was there for, and I seen the whole thing go down.
Right.
And I even threatened to call the police so he could kind of leave. So I was just like,
Mm.
that's on me, type of situation, but still, you know, wanting him to be there, still longing for him. But my grandmother kind of set me down and was just like, you know what? Baby girl, you just kind of gotta let that one go. He loves you.
Right.
He's gonna see you when he sees you, but right now he can't see you. And I was just like, okay. I kind of took that and sat with that and was like, all right, okay, I can work with that. So that's, I guess, how I internalized it at the age, I guess, was just it is what it is. I guess that's
Mm.
kind of what I got locked into me, what they kind of instilled that, especially because I had only been around at the time and only grew up at the time with women. It really wasn't, they did it pretty much everything. It really wasn't a bothersome. So I was good either way. So I was just like, it is what it is. And it I still like, a lot of people say when you are like that, it gives you a closed off heart and things of that nature. I was very friendly, very loving, so I guess it was more of I had that extra space
Right.
and knew he was there, but he just needed to get better. So I was just like, okay, it is what it is.
And that's crazy you say that, because it didn't really affect you like that, because you was able to settle down and find a husband and create your own family. So, I salute you for that. Some people, they be so trapped in their trauma, they can't move on, and they just be so stuck in the past, they don't be thinking about their own future, and they close their heart out and close people out, and they miss out on their blessings like that.
I think I had to set myself outside of my parents and go, oh, they were human beings too. They were
Right.
going through this life with no manual as well. You know what I mean? Like they were going to make those mistakes that they were supposed to be making anyways. You know what I mean? Like this is, knowing the backstory and knowing who the person is at the end of the day, you have to sit back and be like, well, they're human. What was I supposed to expect? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm grateful for what I have and what I got and the time that I've spent. So, it comes to that.
Facts, facts, facts. So, what schools did you grow up in Texas? What schools did you go to? Like, from elementary, middle school, high school? Like, for the people that don't know, what schools did you go to growing up?
I went to, starting off with elementaries, I went to Hay Branch and Bel Air and Westford elementaries. Um, Middle school, I went to Nolan. When I was younger, I used to think that that school was a prison because I saw kids wearing uniforms. I thought that was the juvenile detention area. I was like, I know that's just not the school that I'm going to.
Right.
But but it was a regular middle school. It just looked that way.
What's up? This your boy Subpoena checking in. You want to get with one of the hottest marketing teams in the country, then you want to get with Golden Money Team Marketing.
Um, and then I went to Killeen High School. So I was a Killeen.
So,
Cambridge.
what were some experiences that you faced going to school as a youngin, that you learned from? And did you actually complete high school?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you completed high
Got my
school?
yes.
So, what was some experience you went through going through school and stuff like that growing up?
So like I said, my freshman year of high school was the year that my mother passed. And that was my first year of high school. So she she passed in the middle of the year.
Mm,
Well, no, in the beginning, the first kind of month of school year. So I was thinking, everything was going to get better with her. I'm going to school. I'm like, oh, I'm going to look cute. I have all my outfits because I was going to a school that in middle school, I was going to a uniform school and they wouldn't
right.
even allow you to have colorful socks. Like, oh, they would give you all of the supposed what they call 3x5s, which was a little warnings. If you got a certain amount, then you had to go to the office and things of that nature. I was like, for socks.
That's
Like I
crazy.
used to try and wear headbands to be colorful because I was like, I'm gonna wear some type of color. Y'all can't just make me wear this light baby blue and khakis. Like
Right. Right.
So I tried to be as colorful as possible my freshman year. I was like, yeah, my mom's gonna get better. I'm gonna be colorful. I wore I think one time they called me a Smurf. I had blue lipstick. I was giving it my all and passing all my classes.
So you
Teachers
was a
that
trendsetter.
weren't biased loved me.
You was setting trends.
I definitely was. I didn't know. Nobody would let me know, but I guess I
Right.
was.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So during this time, when your mother passed, were you singing then, or did that get you into singing? Because you say she used to throw parties and stuff like that. What inspired you to get into singing, and when did you actually start singing?
so, what made me start singing was the first song that me and my mother wrote together. I asked her because I was like, I want to sing. I love singing. I used to sing along to the Lion King all the time.
Right.
And they used to listen and like, you're really out here singing this. Like, you sound good. And I was like, yeah, I want to be a singer. I would watch all the videos and everything, but um, I wanted to write a song. And I asked my mother, I said, can I write about y'all's relationship, you and my father's relationship? Because I can't have no boyfriend. Um, at the
That's
time,
right.
I was like,
Right.
so
Right.
I don't have no nothing, no feelings, no nothing. I don't have nothing to give in that department. But I've seen what you've went through, and I
Mm,
don't know how to portray it as well as you can. So can you help me write a song? And can I be able to talk about it? And she was like, yeah, most definitely, I got you. And that's how music starts. That's where it comes from. And she helped me write my first song called "Saying Goodbye." And she ended up getting someone to build basically a whole studio in our living room for me to
mm.
record it. And literally, it was raining that day. We ended up recording the rain from outside, putting it in the track, like from scratch. It was just a fun experience for me. Now, my mom was kind of one of those Michael Jackson's dad's kind of situations, just a little bit, just a slight bit. Um,
Right.
I was very, at times, nervous around my mom singing and doing stuff, but I knew that it was because she knew my talent. She knew. She's heard me for all my life. She knows my range. She knows how much I can give. So I was like, I got you. I know. So that would be the first time I really got deep into music, was that song that we did together, that we recorded, Saying Goodbye.
And that's crazy. Before she passed, she wrote a song saying goodbye with you. So do you still have that song, in the chambers, in the archives? Like something to
I
reminisce off
actually
of?
just released it not too long ago, like a year ago.
Got you.
And because it took me a while to find somebody that would be able to help me and actually know exactly what I needed and how I wanted it recorded at the end of the day. And I ended up finding somebody, Plentiful. He did his thing on the beat and everything and engineering it. And I ended up singing it. I cried
Yeah.
immediately after. That was a difficult session. It had been so long that I had it. Like you said, I had it in the chambers. I definitely had it locked up for a while. And even because my mom had passed and they had moved everything, the track that we had made got lost. So I just had it as memory for the longest. And then I recorded it and got it down, like I said, about a year ago, and was able to put it out on Mother's Day, close to Mother's Day at least.
So I wanted to get into your music a little bit. Um, so you came out with a song in 2004 called Pan.
Mhm.
Like, what is that act about? Like, can you go into detail and how did you come up with that idea for the
Yeah.
song Pan?
So Pan is basically my song that I wrote about me being pansexual. Um, where at the end of the day, I'm not too much so often worried about what you have going on, other than if you're going to treat me right and if you have a good spirit.
Right.
So, yeah.
So
And
can
it
you break
progressed from
down? It's crazy I asked that one first. I was wondering what was going on with that. I seen the rainbow, but I didn't know. But you threw me off because you said you have a husband. So what
yes.
is actually a pansexual for those that don't know? Because you got transsexual, you got pansexual, you got homosexual. It's a lot of sexual things going on out here. So can you break down pansexual for those that don't know? Because that is a new terminology. They
Yeah.
wasn't saying that back in the day, so that's something new. Can you describe that for us? Break that down for
So
us.
you see how you have your gay, lesbian, or
Right.
you are straight at the end of the day, or you like both, meaning that you're bisexual. Well, see, me, I'm in love with the spirit. So that means even if you are a girl, boy, trans woman, trans man, if I am attached to your spirit at the end of the day, that's what I'm attracted to.
Oh, okay. So basically, you're saying no matter what they are, if they, trans, or even if it's a woman that changed their gender or anything like that, you really don't care about the outer appearance. You care about what's in the heart, what's in the spirit. Got you,
Yeah.
got you, got you, got you, got you. So when did you develop that mind state? To be into the spirit and stuff like that, and be tapped into the spirit like that. When did you develop that mind state and that training thought?
So I actually developed it with my husband. He realized that I was interested in women, and
Right,
I was
right, right, right,
like,
right,
nah, man. He's like, nah, you are.
right,
He's
right,
like, you.
right.
And I was like, okay,
So he
I
knew
won't
you.
say.
Yeah, he knew you. He knew you.
Yeah, he knew me. I was like, well, then bet. Then, let's experience this together at the end of the day.
Right.
And it then reached into, and this is also because I feel like a lot of people think that like sexuality and stuff like that has to
Right.
do with connection and relationship and things of that nature and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we have ventured into different things and just enjoyed and, actually grew closer at the end of the day. And I shout out to Street Dialogue for the wonderful interview that we just got through having. And I want to give another shout out to Golden Money Team Marketing and all. So thank y'all, appreciate y'all, and go check them out. Ended up experiencing different people, different different experiences with different genders, uh, just experiencing in that area and being able to find myself at the end of the day and really know
Got
who exactly and what what does the thing and what doesn't at the end of the day, and also what is my preference, because for a good minute I was like, well, I'm bisexual, and I was like, no, because I would, at the end of the day, be with a trans man or a trans woman. I don't really mind. I don't technically at the end of the, and I have. So I don't feel that where that's a stop for me at the end, where other people it's a stop. It's like, nah. It's either got to be a girl or a boy, or, either has to be a girl or it either has to be a boy. So that's just where my preferences are just
got you.
different.
Got you. Got you. That's very interesting. A lot of people don't know what that is. I'm glad we was able to dig into that. So if you really want to know what's going on, most definitely I recommend you guys to listen to Pan um, on Spotify for sure, for sure. Okay. We starting to know you a little bit more. So you basically could diversify with that because a lot of people could actually relate to that out there because some people feel alienated out here. They feel like they can't be themselves. So most definitely I encourage people to be themselves. You know what I'm saying, instead of hiding. You know what I'm saying. At least you're open about how you feel and you're confident. So I applaud you on that for sure. So look what you did. It has 2 songs on there. Um,
Yeah.
so you got Look What You Did and Shows Us, however you say that, SHOES.
Yes.
You threw me off on that one. So what is this? Is like a little EP or something like that with 2 songs put together?
So, you know how people usually drop singles? I wanted to drop a double, and I wanted to kind of, pique the interest in that kind of department because I wanted to be different. I was
Yeah,
like, people
I've
just dropping one.
never
I want to
seen
drop
that.
two.
Right. Okay, so it's titled with both of those songs. So what was your thought process when you created that? You already said you wanted to be different. So Look What You Did. Can you go into detail of what that song means and how you created that song?
Yes. Look What You Did started out as a poem. Um, it started out as a heartfelt poem about one of my exes. Uh, Ended up being a bad, tragic story, as they usually go.
Right.
So that's an X. But it was detrimental to the point where it was DV involved, it was SA involved, and it was just, very, very toxic, very, very bad. And it was a
Right.
learning experience, of never again.
Correct.
So, I was like, I want to write about that and get that out, get that experience, get that time, and express it musically at the end of the day. And I ended up, after making the poem, I had did it at a poetry slam, and someone that came up to me, they were like, "Yeah, you, that's you did that." I was
Right,
kind of
right.
somewhat not screaming, but like yelling because that's what it takes for that poem. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and put it in music form, like I said. And then, like I said, I got with Plenty, and he literally helped me out. Got with him, did the beat and everything like that. I was like, this is, healing at the end of the day, getting out those traumas, talking about it at the end of the day, and hopefully, being a testimony for other people out there that have been through certain situations. So, yeah, that's what those two songs are about.
Got you. So your producer, what is his name again?
Plenty,
The one that
little plenty.
Plenty, right? So how
Mhm.
did you meet and how did y'all make that connection? And how, you know, did you add him to, what made you want to add him to your team as your engineer and producer and stuff like that with the beats and stuff?
I met him in the studio, and Mello, he owns the studio. Um, he was like, I want you to meet him. He's a great engineer. And I was like, okay. And I met him, and I was doing a song called Up Late. And he was like, I love the cadence that you did on that. I feel like we would be great to work together. I was like, okay, most definitely. And it started from there. Magic started from there.
Got you, got you. Yeah, that's well, a lot of artists get found at in the studio and stuff like that, especially going to these big studios. They have these big name producers and stuff like that. So, that's a good way to connect with people. So another song that I would like to dive into is Deep in My Tears.
Mhm.
Can
Yeah.
you go into detail about that song and what was your thought process when you created this song right here? And what was it actually about?
So Deep in My Tears was about another ex.
Ooh, back to
This right
back.
here,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
this right here was about another
Okay.
ex.
Okay. Okay. I see where the soul come from. You really letting it out for real. Cause you be going in. For sure you be going in.
I first wrote, well, I first made the beat um on this little app and everything like that. And I was like, I like it. I'm a sing on it. I sung on it, and it sounded completely different at first.
Right.
Uh, it had a completely different sound at first. I ended up getting the beat down completely and was able to record it with somebody else who could actually record it. Like I said, plenty. And I wanted to add more emotion to that song because of what I've been through before, like I said. And that one wasn't too bad, but that one was more emotional damage. It wasn't as physical as the last X. That one was more physical. This one was very much so more mental. And with that song, I was trying to relate more of how you kind of get into a state of loving someone so much to where you told all the red flags. You don't even swipe them away, and don't
Right.
even
Right.
notice that you're swiping them away out of love, out of this, you know, superior, just uppity, just high that you're on of love. And it's just not it. So I wanted to explain that in that song and express that, yeah, I put you on a pedestal and I shouldn't have.
And it's funny you said that you experienced both emotional and physical. Which one do you think is more detrimental? The physical or the emotional? Now that you're going through both of
Well, I
them, like, or
say,
do you put them at the same like level? Like, which one is affects you more mentally? You think
well, with the
with this?
last situation, the ex that I'm talking about, literally before my husband, um, he was a slight bit of both. And with that situation, it was very, very toxic. It was,
Mm,
I felt ugly, and I was being talked to dirty, at the same time. I
right.
felt like I couldn't leave, and you know
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Mr. D Love, and I just want to come and give a special shout out to the Golden Money Team Marketing. Trust me, if you're looking for any type of marketing, whether it's music, media, anything along those lines, hit them up, follow them. They're going to get you right. I promise you that. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
At the end of the day, why would I stay? But it was that rock between, stuck between a rock and a hard spot at the end of the day with that one. Because it was like I said, and then when it got to a point where I would get fed up, it was like, oh, you're trying to get mad, so it was that type of situation. So I would say both is pretty terrible.
Right.
Both
So,
is pretty much a no, and I've learned from.
so what advice do you have to women out there? Because what you're going through, a lot of women go through this, but they don't speak about it. But you have the courage to speak about it because you are in a good place right now. You done found the man. You done moved on from these things. What advice do you have to women that are stuck in those type of situations? Because they can be detrimental to you. You could have died in those situations as well. Like, what do you do to get out of those type of situations? Like, how did you build yourself up to get out of those situations? Like, what type of advice do you have for women that might go into be in that situation? Like, what would you tell them?
Don't be afraid of being alone. Because sometimes you even might have to drop friends too, and that's perfectly fine as well.
Right.
It's going to be a grieving process, but do not let that grieving process dictate your life.
Right.
You're purposely okay and good with letting go and releasing and growing and experiencing love and better. So that will be my saying to all the beautiful women out there.
Facts. That's great advice. That's great advice. You can't be scared to get out of a situation. You gotta move on. You can't let a person talk to you where you think you can't do nothing without them, and it's just so toxic. You got to get out of that type of situation, or you never know what might happen. Like, I had a cousin in Miami. She was murdered, in front of her kid by the dude, and you never know what can happen. When things are toxic, it's best to just get out. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely, I recommend people to get out of that type of situation if they feel like it's toxic. Things are going on. So I wanted to ask you, who is Lyrical Lyrics?
Yeah. Lyrical Lyrics is a musical partner of mine, a best friend, a sister. Her and her wife, Natalie, are amazing, beautiful spirited people. I first met her at another studio. Just love how I just
Okay.
from the studio.
Right.
And
You network.
she was like, I have a podcast. And I was like, oh, I would, love to be on it. And she was
Yeah.
like, yep, this is the time and everything like that. We had it set up, did that first podcast, and it was over from there. We
Got you. Okay. So you have her featured on your album called Moves and also on the single called Moves. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the creative process when you guys got together and created that song. What was the creative process when you guys created the song Moves, named after your album Moves?
So I created moods. I had a melody in my head, and I was like, I want to sing smooth. So I recorded myself singing, "This is the mood that turns you on." And I was just going on and on and on and on and on, and just
You
making it
probably could
smoother and smoother and smoother.
well type of shit, man. I hear the notes now. Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
And I recorded it, and I was like, I sent it to Plenty, and I was like, I really want something that gives like a good, like, kickback, can vibe to, roll around, roll up if that's what you want to do, type situation, type of vibe. Like, and it's not too much, it's not giving too much, but it's giving just sexy mood, And he was like, I got you. He came up with the beat and everything. And I was like, okay. I sung the chorus on it. And I was like, I don't want to do anything else to it. Me, personally, I don't want to do anything else to it. I feel as if it needs a rapper. It needs that little spice to it. I can't, my rapper name out here, if anybody,
You
my rapper
laughing?
name is called Baby Bars. Because I only
Okay,
got 2 bars to 4 bars for you. That's all I
right.
have. I am a singer. I do not claim being a rapper at all. But everybody always is like, I can hear you. I can hear the cadence for you doing it. But no, I was like, I don't feel as if I would be able to do it justice what I need to do on that song. So I asked around. I was like, I need a rapper. I need a good rapper. I sent it to a couple of people that I know, and I sent it to Lyrical. She
Yeah,
sent me back a verse. She sent me back, what with the rest of the song that I had. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh, you ain't had to do me like that. You ain't had to do my track like that.
right.
You didn't have to do me like that. So I was like, oh, we definitely have to record this. And so we ended up recording it down in the studio. It was a fun time. Uh, it was just a smooth going process at the end of the day, and it was fun. And she ended up doing her thing on that song. Like, to this day, like, I still am just like, you did that. Like, I thank you. Like,
Got you. So on Moves, one of my favorite songs is called "Lied to Me." Um, you know, you got a lot of people that you cannot believe the word they say. Like, if somebody lied to me about the smallest things, I ain't gonna believe nothing you saying. Like, I'm gonna be like, bro, I listen to it, but I might not tell you to your face, but it's gonna be like, come on, bro. You just
mhm.
lie, you can't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. When sometimes if you let somebody know they got figured out, they're gonna try to maneuver another way and try to lie another way. So you gotta let people be who they are. You know what I'm saying? You can't reveal what you know. So Lied to Me, I can most definitely relate to that. What is this song actually about? Like, was it actually based on a true story? Was it about someone? Like, can you go into detail about this song? This is the last one right here that I want to get into. But
You're
I
good. You're
say
good. So this whole EP is about how I got with an ex, a female ex at this time. Um,
man, boy, I keep hitting them X's up. So this
yeah,
three for the day. This the third one. Okay. You
this
gonna
is
put them on the
this is
chopping block.
and
Okay.
and literally, it was just different circumstances that most of the community pretty much knows. You get those certain same old stories, and you're just like, okay. So you had to give them money because of what? Or you came out late and had to spend the night where?
Right, right,
Okay, all right. Okay. That sounds very plausible. So
right.
it was just a lot of those situations, and I have a lot of intuition, and I know a lot.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy 12 Gauge. I just wanted to let you guys in on a little secret. Golden Money Team Marketing. If you need any marketing whatsoever, go follow my bro on Instagram. He'll take your page from 0 to 100. He'll teach you the ropes and he'll make sure that you get seen. Go follow him again at Golden Money Team Marketing.
What's up? It's your boy Z. Shout out to Golden Money Team Marketing. They official, legit, everything you need. One stop shop right here.
Hey, it's your boy Bigger Rankin, man. One time for Golden Money Team Marketing. If you want any type of marketing, as long as it got something to do with music, any type of media, anything, hit him up, man. For real. He is the one. He is him.
And especially with my situation, I'm like, it's too easy to be honest. Like, it's too easy to just tell me what's going on. It's too easy, but it's okay. You want to, then let me show you how supposedly you think that the game is going to be just good for you when no, I've been smart. I'm just sitting here watching you. I'm going to
Right.
let you do what you want to do, see what you're going to do. So,
Mm. That's why you was smirking when I said that. You gotta let let people hang themselves. You can't, if you know something, once you put somebody up on game, they're gonna try to maneuver that, and then they gonna show a whole nother snakish way. So I'd rather you just be that snake. Don't shed your skin. You feel me?
yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, got you. Now that the fans got to know you more, I got to know you a little better. We're gonna go off in a few more other questions, you know what I'm saying, then wrap it up. So why do you think people need to listen to your music, and what do you think makes you stand out as an artist? Why should people go listen to your music?
I feel like people can listen to my music. I'm not forcing on anything. You can listen to my music to heal. I started singing to share my gift with the world at the end of the day. All my
Mm.
experiences, all my testimonies, all my cries, all my passion, all the love, and share it at the end of the day. So if you're down to hear real music, soul, heart, passion, love, peace, and healing at the end of the day, then that's why you need to listen to me
Facts.
on your own.
Facts. So, as an artist, what are you doing differently? Everybody try to sound the same. I like your sound. You basically have that soul music. So, as an artist, what are you doing differently to stand out? And show your versatility. And not some people try to be like others, but what are you doing to stand out as an artist and show how you are different from other artists out here doing music and stuff like that? Like, what are you doing actually to stand out?
I like performing. I like giving a show. Um, and I like doing it live for the most part. Um,
Mm.
so you usually don't hear tracks behind me. Which a lot of people have told me, they're like, girl, I have to use a track and this, that, and other. And I
Right,
want people to hear the raw. I want you to hear all of the ad libs, all of the extra that I'm doing, and everything that I did when I was in the studio. I want you to hear exactly how I did it outside of
right.
there. So you get the best of both worlds. I'm not just a recorder. I'm not just an in the studio artist. You're gonna hear that same exact love and passion outside, and even more live and in person. So I feel like that's because you get the raw, and also I like to also work with and feature with other raw talents.
Fact.
You're gonna hear actual music from me at the end of the day. I'm just giving it to you the way I know how best
I
at the
like
end of the day.
I like the answer to what you said because it's a lot of artists who be lip singing out here. You feel me? They really don't know how to sing. So what you saying that will make you stand out. Being able to showcase your actual skills when people are actually listening to you live, you know, that's real. Like when you go on BET and stuff like that, and they be having these BET shows and it's live, sometimes you be listening to some of these artists that are notable, you be like, nah. Like they can't even rap, like, nah, that ain't gonna, we ain't something right. You feel me? So I understand what you come from, where you coming from. That will make you stand out as an artist. So what category would you categorize your music? Would you categorize it as R&B, soul music? Like what type of category will you categorize your music as?
Hey, it's your name, man, DJ Coop, man. I'm locked in on Golden Money Team, man. Like, marketing shit crazy, man. Like, anything you need, make sure you tap in with my people. I don't care if they selling goddamn taxis, car, popsicles, bundles, anything. You need that marketing hold and holler at my people. You know what I'm talking about?
You can categorize it right now as alternative, soul at the end of the day. But I don't want that to just be it. Um, I feel as if I get put into a box, then that's what it's going to be portrayed, and that's what's going to be pushed. And at least for me in the mindset, and I want to be able to create in all
Right.
departments, future wise, even rock, get a little bit centric with y'all, see what all, and even move into Latin and get into different atmospheres. So I don't really want to technically be put in a box, but if you're going to, I'll just say alternative.
I mean, you could do country too. So
That's what I'm saying. And, even that
Beyonce,
venture.
y'all country as hell over there. So y'all country. That's why everything big in Texas, but y'all eat good over there. Boy. For real. You ain't getting no
Barbecue
small.
do.
Exactly. So coming from Texas, you got Beyonce coming out of Texas and all these artists. Like, what artists coming from your city, or what artist period inspired you to get into singing?
Oh, okay. Xavier Omar. He's from San Antonio, Texas. There's Brent Fies, everybody knows, and then I have my Ratchet and my classic side, Megan. You already know. Beyonce is just a given at the end of the day. There's no way without giving that list without her being made. And I know Erica Badu is here now. I know she's big in Austin and things of that nature.
Right.
I know she wasn't like born or raised here, but she's here now. But I just say that, but those are like the artists at the end of the day that are from like, where I'm coming from at the end of the day with, a different kind of ear to music.
Right. Got you. So, what'll be your top 5 artists, that's from the past or present? What'll be your top 5 artists?
My top 5 artists. My top 5. That's difficult.
It don't have to be in no particular order. Like, it could be Anita Baker. You never know. Beyonce. Whoever you could think of. Prince. You got Michael Jackson. Your top 5 artists. Who would be your top 5 artists, past or present?
Etta James.
Who?
Etta James.
Okay.
You got Luther.
Yeah.
Oh, SWB.
I
don't know why
forgot
I
about
can't.
them.
Yeah,
I forgot about them.
I love them. How many is that right now? I got like what, 3 or 4? I got like 2 more left.
Right now.
Okay.
You said Luther, SWV. Who was the first one again? Something James.
Etta James. Yes, Etta James.
Okay.
Etta James, Luther. And then I had said, last but not least. Well, not last
That's
but not
3.
least.
2
There's only
more.
3 of
Let me get
them.
2
3.
more.
2 more.
Yeah, let me get 2.
And then
You
SWV.
got
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Mm, 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 mm. Mm.
James Brown.
Mm.
Got a lot out there. It's a lot of talent. Your top 5.
True, 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 true. I'm trying to get the good names. Hmm. Definitely Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That'll be
So one
your.
more. That's 4. So you got one more. Who else? Who will be on the other one? The last but not least.
The last but not least, on my top 5, uh, oh, because I
It's
cannot
hard.
say.
Oh, Beyonce. Now that's a good one. Now that's the queen right there.
I mean,
Right
she's a
now.
given. She's a given, but like,
So you gotta say Beyonce. Come on now.
I mean,
You
yes,
gotta say.
definitely Beyonce. I mean, you should have
You
gave me
gotta.
a top 10 then. You
We
can't
gonna put Beyonce.
give me a top 5 and say like
You
you set me
know.
up. You set me up.
You gotta say Beyonce. Now we gonna just throw Beyonce in there. Like she doing it all. Like she
Yeah.
paved the way. Like she showing.
Hey, what's up, fellow directors of photography? Golden Money Team Marketing. Get with them. They get you right. You don't need an agent. Go straight to them.
You don't have to like the same thing that you were saying. She's not being put in the box. She could do anything. Rock, country, whatever, So yeah, most definitely we got to go with Beyonce on that one. Okay. So this is a question that I like to ask all my guests that come on the show. What do you value more in life, morals or money?
Morals.
Why is that?
Because if you don't have any morals, you're not gonna keep your money.
Mm,
That's a quick way for you to end up in jail.
right, right. Facts. That was a simple answer.
You know?
Yeah. And because I like to ask people that because the music industry, a lot of people do things against their morals to get ahead, and sometimes when they do that, they don't live with themselves and the decisions that they made. So no matter how much success they do gain, they still have things that are haunting them for things that they did. So it's most definitely important to keep your morals intact, especially in the music business. And another question I like to ask my guests: what comes first in your life, money, power, or respect? And explain why. And put it in order. What comes first, money, power, respect?
Mm. Respect, money, and power.
Explain why respect is first.
Because once you have the connections, that's how you can grow. Once you have, that loyalty at the end of the day, that respect, that's a bridge that you can't break.
Mm,
So much, easy to flow through. That's a business connection. That's a whatever that may be. So yeah, and then the money, and then obviously with both of those combined, you got power.
fact,
Especially if you're
facts,
doing it, you doing it out of love and you doing it out of respect for also others. Then yeah, that's how you gain graceful royalty.
facts. So, as a woman in the game, did you face any obstacles as a woman? Coming up in the game as a singer, because I know it's hard for y'all to even record, without getting hit on and things of that sort. You know what I'm
So you
saying? So, what obstacles have you faced as a woman coming up in the game?
as a woman coming up in the game, it is very, very in the beginning sex based, and also
Mm,
it was, you know, difficult for people to want to pay me my worth. I was like,
Right.
okay, that first show that I do for you, cool promotion, got you. This is my first time you seeing my work. But if you're calling me about my day, you're gonna need to pay. At this point, I done
Right.
already gave you a free sample at this
Right.
point. You know what I mean? Like I done already kind of explained it to you. You know what you're getting at this point. So it was that part was kind of difficult. Definitely getting hit on. I've had people tell me, oh, I got girls doing me for my beats because my beats, I'm like, baby, your beats ain't paying nobody bills.
Right.
Your beats
Right.
ain't
Right.
or platinum. I
Gotcha.
don't see the point of me doing anything with you for this free beat. Thank you. Appreciate you. I want it.
Right.
And that's usually how like I would do competitions and I would win, studio time. And there's been times where if my husband wasn't with me, there was tons of people coming to the studio that I didn't even know that was supposed to be there. Men type. I'm just like, oh, big 6 foot. I'm like, all right, I'm glad my husband's here. I would have just been in this, studio. And, most studios are in houses and things of that nature. I would have been in this, basic room with a room on the other room and a bed by myself if my husband hadn't came. This is really, thank you, really nice.
Right.
There was a lot of situations like that where I had to be very aware of my surroundings, performance places. Things can go down at all times. You know what I mean? You really have to be aware, but still enjoying yourself and knowing, what you are and where you are at the end of the day. That's why I say knowing your surroundings. So, yeah, I've dealt with it all.
Got you. Got you. And that's something that we need to be aware of, especially females. Some men go through it too, but I know you guys go through it the most, dealing with this male dominant industry. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely salute to you and for being aware of those things. And some people get taken advantage of and be put in situations that they don't want to be in. They could get raped. There's a lot of stuff, drugs. So yeah, you got to be most definitely aware of that. So most definitely we're gonna wrap it up. Where can people find you?
They can find me on Spotify, Shazam, Apple Music, all streaming platforms, YouTube, everywhere. Just look up Tinkshell, Tinkshell.
All right.
And shout out to the Golden Money Team Marketing. That's right, 24/7 non-stop marketing.
Patience is a virtue. Everything in life takes time. Stay focused, stay consistent, stay on your grind. Wow. Second man up, just like Scottie Pippen. Had to wait my turn, I ain't even tripping. Double up like double cups, I ain't even sipping.
Passing licks, cause we raised like that. Raised in the streets. Packing these guns. Dope in my backpack. Getting off a sack. Passing licks, cause we raised like that.
Watch my dope transform like Power Rangers. Empty out the clip, better bullet will tame you. Leaving leaning like a shirt, hanging on a coat hanger. Chopper bullets have you singing like an opera singer. Can't be